With the English Premier League now finished, the votes are in for the biggest African flops of the English Premier League season. Now we count down the 10 that failed to score, pass or defend, or keep their team in the English Premier League. Adeline Guedioura starts us off at number 10. Watford surprised many by making it to the FA Cup semi-final in 2016. In spite of their FA Cup run and respectable English Premier League performance, Adeline Guedioura struggled to make any kind of impression on the Watford team. The Algerian played only 421 minutes, though he was able to notch 2 assists in that short time. Unfortunately, Guedioura flopped this term at Watford, as the Hornets midfielder spent much of his time on the team's bench. Stéphane Sessegnon clocks in at number 9. West Bromwich Albion's Benin international Sessegnon has seen his importance at the club fade in recent seasons. Almost sold in the summer of 2015 after taking a £400 taxi from Newcastle to the Midlands following a bust-up with manager Tony Pulis, it looks like the Baggies will finally sell the misfiring attacker in 2016. In 25 games, Sessegnon tallied 2 goals as the woeful Baggies just beat relegation. West Brom's attack was so bad that they finished second bottom in goals scored with 34. Sessegnon's poor form was one reason for the poor scoring at the Hawthorns. At number 8 is Sebastian Bassong. The Cameroonian was a permanent fixture at Norwich City's defence during the English Premier League season. That, however, was not a good thing. Norwich finished second bottom after returning to the top flight last summer. Bassong and company were just plain bad. The defence gave up 67 goals, second worst in the league. In addition, Bassong is regarded as weak in the tackle, something a relegation-threatened team does not need at the heart of its defence. The good news is, Norwich will have another shot at gaining promotion next season in the Championship. Number 7 is DR Congo's Benik Afobe. Afobe was a sterling success in the English Championship for Wolverhampton Wanderers in 2015, and his play caught the eye of Bournemouth in January 2016. The Cherries paid a club record £10 million for the striker. However, Afobe's return on investment was poor to say the least. 4 goals in 15 games was all the striker could muster. With 1 goal in his last 11 games, Wolverhampton looked to have stolen £10 million from Bournemouth. Wilfred Bony comes in at number 6. Since arriving at the Etihad, Bony has always looked out of place at Manchester City. In 2015-16, the Ivorian played 26 times for the Blues, with half of those appearances being from the bench in the English Premier League. 4 goals and 3 assists aren't a bad return from a super sub. However, when tasked with replacing City's main striker Sergio Aguero, Bony suffered. In fact, Bony was so poor, he didn't score after Boxing Day, going 13 games without registering a goal. Expect the Ivorian to be rushed out of Manchester in the summer. Down to number 5. At one time, Victor Moses was one of the most promising players in English football. The Nigerian was a success at Crystal Palace, yet since he burst onto the scene, Moses has failed to fulfill his potential. In 2015-16, Moses was loaned to West Ham, where he played 21 times. His 1 goal and 2 assists were a poor return for a player that was supposed to be a star for the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool. However, Moses now returns to Chelsea after the loan, looking for a way to spark a failing career. The 2015-16 English Premier League season was not one of success for Stoke City striker Peter Odemwingie, and he clocks in at number 4. The Nigerian played in 5 games for the Potters, all as a substitute. Odemwingie joined English side Bristol City after a move to France's Marseille fell through in January, where he found a modicum of success with 2 goals. His time in English football, however, looks up after a flop of a season. Papiss Cissé comes in at number 3, as it was a rotten season for Newcastle United on all accounts. The club were relegated and only scored 44 goals during the term. At one time, Papiss Cissé was Newcastle's goal-scoring saviour. However, this past season, Cissé was poor for much of the term. 3 goals in 21 matches from their number 9 shows exactly why Newcastle will not be playing Premier League football next season. Former Barcelona youth player and Mali international Adama Traoré ranks as our number 2 flop. Traoré was expected to provide big things for Aston Villa in 2015-16. Unfortunately, the 20-year-old could only provide the club with 10 substitute appearances, playing 184 minutes. Traoré did absolutely nothing for Villa after they shelled out £7 million for him. Highly rated from La Masia, Traoré is now considered one of the biggest flops, as his inconsistencies helped Villa to relegation. And the number one African flop in the English Premier League for 2015-16 is Oumar Niasse. Everton bought the Senegalese striker for 13.5 million from Russian side Lokomotiv Moscow. Expected to make an impact for the Toffees in the second half of the season, Niasse only participated in 142 English Premier League minutes during his time with the club. The striker failed to score and make headlines on the pitch. However, off the pitch, Niasse successfully made headlines for all the wrong reasons. He was recently arrested on the suspicion of assault. Now, with manager Roberto Martinez out at Everton, it looks like Niasse's stay in English football could be over too. So, these are the biggest African flops in the 2015-16 season. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Akoni TV.